hosted the national conference in Bangabong County from November 8 to the 9, 2004. This conference brought together 300 stakeholders in the Liberian rubber industry, representing more than 60,000 rubber planters, farmers, as well as local and international rubber experts from Apromac in the Côte d'Ivoire that spoke on diverse topics relevant to improving the rubber sector in Liberia. We would like to take today to thank all those who contributed or participated in shaping this vital sector that is contributing immensely to the economic growth of Liberia. Special thanks go to His Excellency Joseph Newman Boaka for his steadfast leadership of this nation, and his vision has ensured, and it also goes to the Minister of Agriculture, Dr. J. Alexander Nutter, whose leadership at the Ministry of Agriculture that recognizes agriculture as a major driving force to improve the plight of all Liberians. Thanks has ensured, the Ministry of Agriculture has ensured that it is focused for the nation's economic growth and has been in a key driver for the implementation of the RS agenda for inclusive development, especially as it pertains to agriculture sector which he heads. Most importantly, we would like to thank all of those who participated in the conference, contributing your knowledge, experience, helping us to strategize how to improve the sector. Honorable members of the press, this conference also serves as a means of information to inform the rubber stakeholders and the general public of the key achievements in the rubber sector since the conference was held more than a year ago. The resolution that emanated from the conference, amongst other issues, pinpointed the setting of the monthly rubber price by a key player in the field as being unfair, subjective, and a gross conflict of interest. This needed to change if there was to be trust between the buyers and the sellers, that made the farmers. As a means of addressing the above, the November 2024, the President of Liberia, His Excellency Joseph Newman Boaka, established an 8-member committee headed by the Minister of Agriculture and comprising the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, the National Investment Commission, the Rubber Development Fund Incorporated, the Rubber Planters Association of Liberia, and the Rubber Processors represented by Firestone Liberia Incorporated, to look into setting up the mechanism for calculating and posting of the monthly rubber prices. This committee named and styled the Liberian National Rubber Pricing Committee, LNROPC, began work right away, considering all variables and scenarios that by June 2025, for the first time in the history of the Republic of Liberia and the rubber industry of Liberia, and an independent body was able to determine and post the rubber price. This has been consistent with this committee meeting every month to determine and post the price of rubber within the Republic of Liberia up to today's date. This is one of the key issues raised at the National Rubber Conference that have been addressed. Members of the press, besides the above, the RODFI has been working in close collaboration with the ROPAL to ensure that the meager resources on hand can be appropriately allocated to benefit the rubber farmers of Liberia, especially the smallholder farmers. Accordingly, the RODFI, which is the Rubber Development Fund Incorporated, has supported the ROPAL by approving US $389,286, of which US $242,000 $294.32 has already been disbursed to conduct programs to benefit farmers, and as a result, we would like to highlight the following achievement for 2025. 1. Approximately 202,000 improved border stumps were distributed to 346 farmers across 7 counties: Bong, Margibi, Grand Bassa, Monserrado, Nima, Riverses, and Bombing counties. A total of 35 nurseries were established across 11 counties, which 28 were fully completed. Each site received cultivation tools and fertilizers to ensure sustainability. 3. 21 motorbikes and electronic tablets, respectively, were purchased and deployed, with 15 county coordinators, 7 county supervisors, and 8 technicians operated in all 15 counties, rendering technical extension services to rubber farmers around the nation. Facilitated the training of 30 field staff of the ROPAL in nursery establishments and maintenance, ball grafting, and tapping systems and techniques. In Bombing, Bapolu, and Grand Cape Mount counties, 535 rubber farmers received free ID cards with registration ongoing in additional counties. This is also to let you know, members of the press and the general public, that the RODFI has not limited its collaboration only to ROPL, the Rubber Planters Association of Liberia. The RODFI has been working with processors like Firestone and the Liberia Agriculture Company LAC to improve road access to enable farmers get the produce to market with minimum constraints. In June to July 2025, the Rubber Development Fund Incorporated, in collaboration with the Liberia Agriculture Company LAC, improved road access in Grand Bassa County, specifically along the Saturday Town Compound, number 3 road access, to enable farmers get their produce to market, especially during the Independence Day season. This November, the RODFI, in collaboration with Firestone, will be improving and grading the road from Kakata to 26 Gate. In this sector, there are other interventions on the way whose impact will be felt very soon. We would like to thank you for your listening as we look forward to forging a more productive relationships with you. I thank you.
So we will now turn over to the chairman, Weah, who will respond to all of our questions as media personnel. But I will start with the question. Weah, we're listening to the release and bravo to you and the folks from ROPAL and RODFI. My question has to do with the moratorium on the export of processed rubber was reissued some part of this year. What has the progress made so far in terms of the moratorium? What has changed?
Thank you. The actual question to ask is that the moratorium was not placed not to export processed rubber. It was placed for those who want to process rubber to pay a fee of $150 per ton. So we've seen that government have been able to show that those who engage in processing or shipping of processed rubber, that we have paid them. And up to date, we are not, the record we have is that only a few processed rubber have been shipped out of Liberia. And we think it is about time for to encourage those who want to do business with Liberia, or farmers, or even the government of Liberia, or the people of Liberia, is that to set a factory and process where you provide job opportunity. But those who have come who are in the business. We cannot put in all the business others to pay the 4% government tax, the 4% government tax, and also RDFI fee and RPF fee, and also pay the $150, which we think it will be right for them to do. So we are not encouraging actually to export on processed rubber. So we're asking most of the farmers to deal with those processors that were in the country, and those who want to ship on processed rubber to also encouraging the fees to pay the fee, which government can get a needed revenue to be able to help the agriculture sector.
Yeah, or with all of these interventions made in the sector, in summary, what can we say is the current status of the rubber sector?
Well, the current status of the rubber sector, I'm a farmer. It have been improved because let me say this too: most of the farmers, all Liberian, it will always be in the business of those who buying to set the price. But today, if you look at this season of the November, December, January, the price will come down. Today we are giving international price. I'm a member of the price committee. We get the price from the Singapore Commodity Index to be posted up the same way with Ivory Coast. Of course, we are a little bit down in Ivory Coast, like maybe $20 or $25. Before, the difference was like $100 and some more dollars. So today in Liberia, we asking the Minister of Agriculture and His Excellency Joseph Boakai for this government to ensure that the price or the setting of price of rubber is being done by this committee, and also in the future, and all of government that come there to ensure the same way in Ivory Coast, Apple Mark, etc. price, the RDFI and the Ministry of Agriculture to set up a price. So the pricing committee is there to work that the farmer to get a fair price. So these are one of the greatest achievements under the administration.
What is the current price?
The current net price is about $556 per ton. $556 per ton. So that's the next price that go to farmers. But we are encouraging. I mean, we tell the Minister of Agriculture thank you, and the President thank you for being there to support the sector. And that brings money into the economy, also money to a farmer, encouraging farmers to be able to go back to work. Because most of the time or so we see that most of the farmers, they abandoned their farm because the price was low and hard work. So we tell the government thank you.
So what happened to the initial price?
The initial price that by the time they will be like $425. That more than $100, maybe $111, $115 different. It is a lot to a farmer, somebody who in the village that got a 1 ton. If you take away that's a month, it will not encourage them. So most of the time they will not break even. It will be a losses to them.
So my name is Emmanuel Bono, and I report for the broadcasting system. I listened to you talk about the sector has been improved. So what are you doing now as key stakeholder to ensure that employees, those who are playing a very key role to ensure farmers get their benefit, they do be able to get our welfare?
Yes, we have been engaging all the farmers and all the processors that indeed the rubber sector is the lifeline of our country. You know, we're going to bring a lot to the economy of this country as a farmer. Like today, if you ask me that we in 3 or 4 months time, my tax I pay the government for my farm is more than $1,600, $1,400. If you got a 60,000 farmer, if someone is paying more than me and somebody paying less than me, we are paying a lot to the economy. So for that reason, it's about time, as the Minister of Agriculture have done, have been looking at the sector, it's about time for the government to pay key attention to the rubber industry. Because number one, these are the commodities, these are crops from Liberia that a lot of people know about. And so for the reason, and the minister, the RDFI are giving chrome to border chrome improve one from agriculture to a lot of farmers to tomorrow that you will not waste the land. And we have deployed technicians on the field to be able to engage farmers. You are on a farm, and we think that farmer will or technicians will come on the farm to sit with you, to have a meeting with you, to give you a training.
So I'm particular with the workers that you have with your farm. Now the system has been improved. How are you also? What are some of the strategies of making it seem that you put in place to ensure these people
like
benefit too?
Yeah, most of we the smaller farmers, not the bigger corporations also, we work on the basis that the top of work on the basis of commission. So which will be getting more money than giving it or maybe $3 or $5 a day. It's somehow the worker on my farm, a clear example, so I don't want to call the name. So they make 60,000. And some of them make like 60,000
So
like people not
based on production.
based on production. So you have, we share production. So some of them made like 30,000, 35,000 when you keep losing days or so. This is it. So for this reason, to be able to tell you is that it will put more money in our pocket than ever before. So that's why the price, if the price is stable, you will be able to keep them on the farm. So this is what we are doing, and we think that most of the labor law and being part of the European Union or the deforestation also, and also GPNRS, which are seek that all farmers to be able to respect their workers and also give them the needed benefit or labor standard.
Yeah. So my name is Weah, and I report for Heritage newspaper. So in your question, you mentioned some interventions and expected interventions. So we would like to know what are those expected interventions and what value will be visible to the lower stakeholder or lower farmers in the coming years. And secondly, what's the major challenge, despite all of the progress, what the major challenge the lower sector still facing in Nigeria?
My colleagues are coming, but let me say this to you, maybe also. The major challenge is that the cost of transportation is high, cost of production is high for farmers. Like if a farmer who have maybe 2 ton or from Grand Bazaar to any or to Lac or any of the villages, if you can be able to pay up to $30, $40, $50. In agriculture, you will never say pay up to $18 because we're going to have a set. We are working on this to be able to work on the transportation of cost, the cost of transportation to produce, the process rubber, together with the Ministry of Agriculture and together with other stakeholders. That's one of the things we have to look at: the cost of transportation, the cost of production, material like, or you will not be able to get an ISIS sometimes, you will not be able to get a tapping knife, and all these things they have a high cost here compared to our neighboring.
And also, there's nothing like government intervention, like having agriculture bank being created to subsidize the farmers' own expenditure. So everything is almost like one-way traffic. Everything is resting directly on the farmer. So the pricing system, yes, the government, with the government's intervention and that of the RDFR, I think that is going very well for now, because the pricing factor has been done by the RDFR or the board, the committee that is responsible for the pricing. So which is very good, that it's helping us a lot, because it was those people who were buying from us that were making price. But for now, I think the government, with the intervention of the government and that of the RDFR, we are on course that yes, our own people can determine our price. We are satisfied with that, but we actually need government own support to see how better they can subsidize our own how you call it, financing, so that we can enlarge our farms. Because if the farm is small, trust me, you will not go anywhere, because transportation and all of those other expenses come from there. Definitely, I don't think anything good will be left there. So those are some of the challenges. And you were asking about what are some of the future future intervention, right? Yeah, like the chairman reported, we have a very good colonial materials that we've already started distributing to farmers. We have had like 30 to 40 some more
borehole guiding that which we're multiplying to give to farmers, that we will help farmers to yield better production as compared to our colonial clones that we had, where in maybe one type will be bringing like half ton and you say the man ready work. This time, like clone that we're giving you, approximately like 3 tons per person. So it definitely, like somebody was asking, what are some of the strategies we are putting in place for the tappers? Let's put it that way, because you're asking for the employees that we have on the field. What are the new changes benefiting them? It will benefit them a lot, because if you are working on at a percentage of composition, the higher the percentage, the more you benefit as well. So with the government strategy, like putting surcharges on those people who are exporting cotton, because the economy was being cheated. Those people who used to come exploit our people, get the cotton, carry it, even the processors, with all the charges and things that they put on them, that nothing was on them. So the government said, then what we do is we put additional charges so that the government too will benefit, so that the country will be a better place in supporting the economy. So those are some of the future intervention and that of what changes have come to the farmer, the employee as well. Yeah, so as we want down the curtains on this, basically I want for the chairman to respond to this. Okay. Chairman, on the issue about the nurseries.
Okay, let me comment on the nurseries. The nurseries, as we said, we have about 35 existing nurseries in 11 counties of the 15 counties of Liberia, except for the southeast where there are no nurseries. But the 11 counties in which the nurseries are established are doing excellently well. Because as my colleague, Mr. Howard put it, that those days our people used to have the what they call seedling. When the rubber seed drops and you think you plant it, you will not have the same characteristics of what the company brought. The Firestone lac, you have a different species. It's a different parent. So we have found out through visitations, exploring, the rubber landscape of the world, we have what they call plumes, where the high-yielding varieties of rubber have been deployed in Liberia. So we are multiplying it at these various counties nurseries. So we have technicians who do extension services and go to all the smallholders, tell them how to plant the food, and then they come to the nursery where they, demonstrate something. And then we start supplying those stumps to them. Like we have clones. Those are highly technical data clones, like ARCA 237, and we have all there are series of them that we took from Ivory Coast, and some were given to us by the concessions years that are here. So these are the interventions that have been made. You see how much have been put into 235,000 stumps, have been multiplied and distributed. You see, total number of farmers, we talk about 535 farmers. So we are still in the process. We are still in the supply. Go and see Grand Bars of the nurseries, and you see something. Go to Niba in the Saclopia region, and you see what our nurseries look like. And when you get to Bombing, Cape Mount, we came and see how Cape Mount is doing. And Bapolo, Bong will know we don't have to. Then the place they call Kwekweta. Go and see where the farmers themselves they are doing there. It will amaze you.
But so what becomes of the rest of the full counties?
The counties, because it has a phase 2, which starts around February to March, where the interventions will go to Sino, to Grand Cru, to Maryland, to River G, as well as Grand G. Okay.
Let me just add a bit.
Yes, I did all right.
I come in. All right, Director. I also want to make this very clear that all of those material and all of the interventions that we are giving to farmers, they are 100% free. We're not doing it to say we're multiplying the colonial material to sell to farmers. No. It is directly free of charge, because it is our responsibility as an institution, because those people, every sale they pay, they have a subscription fees to pay. So whatsoever we're giving back to them is almost like a refund. So we're not telling them to pay for anything like the cleaner materials we're giving them, like motorcycle technician that we're sending to look up to them, the supervisor, the extension officers, you name it. So we are responsible to pay them at our own cost. We are not telling them to pay additional money.
So whatsoever stump we give you is directly yours, free 100%. The only thing we do, our technician monitor it and make sure that it's being utilized.
Yeah, good morning. I'm William Johnson. I'm the Executive Director of the Rural Development Fund. I'm the head of the Secretariat of the Rural Development Fund, so I will speak from the perspective of the Secretariat. When it comes to the challenges, the constraints, one of the key constraints that we are faced with has to do with the Rural Development Fund being understaffed and underfunded. Just to give you a background, the document that brought about the Rural Development Fund stated that in order for the fund to be effective and efficient, we had to start with about a minimum of $50 million US. Now, we're operating way below that, not even 10% of that amount, based on their own subscription. The government has not been putting in the amount it should be putting in to make the fund to be very vibrant. So we depend on the subscription, which is very minimal, to be able to do the intervention for the farmers. So we're going at a very slow pace. Now we have been trying to liaise with the CSA and also with the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning to increase our staff. One of the key reasons is that what we are doing, even the collection of the fees from the processors, we are doing it on a gentleman basis. Any amount they say they collect, we have to agree with it because we don't have anybody posted there on a daily basis to be able to corroborate or to check on what they say they collected. People don't do business this way. All financial experts will come and tell you that when you're in business with another person, as much as you trust them, you should always be represented when they are doing transactions. We are not there. So we stay appealing to the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning to be able to honor our request to them to increase our staff so we can have people posted in the field there with the processors. So I don't want to go through all the constraints my bosses already mentioned all, but for my side, I was looking keenly at the honor funding and the honor staffing that was very hampering our operation as a secretariat.
Thank you.